What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Henry Cejudo reacts to criticism from Conor McGregor. After Henry Cejudo's main event loss to Aljamain Sterling at UFC 288, the former two-division title challenger found himself in the crosshairs of none other than the notorious Conor McGregor. McGregor quickly took to Twitter with a video from his bathroom where he offered Cejudo some backhanded advice that he should have switched stances during the bout. In addition, McGregor posted a tweet where he joked that the fight was some of the easiest money he's ever made, saying, "Easiest money I've ever made, not a scratch on Aljo. Congrats, Funkmaster. Good little fighter is Henry, but give it a rest with all these agendas all the time. The guy has sub 20 fights in his career. His little feints and all. OMG, please teach me, mastermind." When Triple C arrived at the post-fight press conference, he was asked about McGregor's comments, to which he responded by saying,
"Man, Conor McGregor don't got shit on my resume. That's all I gotta say. You know, he's been stopped after a 3-year layoff. What I was able to do and compete, and then hearing the boos from the crowd once they announced the winner. I mean, that says a lot to me. But there's still levels, and I still know that I could get better too."
Cejudo also thanked McGregor, saying that although he was pissed about losing, he loves the spirited back and forth between the two. So far, Cejudo has remained non-committal in regards to his future. During his post-fight Octagon interview, he admitted that this could be the last time fans see him in the Octagon. In his eyes, if he isn't capable of beating Aljamain Sterling, then his goal of winning the belt and moving up to 145 pounds may not be as attainable as he thought. Despite that, many have called for him to continue fighting, given that many had the fight being scored in his favor. In addition to the fact that the decision hinged on one judge awarding Sterling the 5th round, the MMA community scored the fight in Cejudo's favor on verdict. According to the community scorecards, Sterling won rounds 1 and 4, while Cejudo won rounds 2, 3, and 5. McGregor, of course, currently finds himself in limbo. While a fight between he and Michael Chandler is all but finalized, the Irish star remains ineligible to compete without re-entering the USADA testing pool. According to the agency's database, McGregor has yet to submit a test in 2023. What did you make of Cejudo's return? Did he show that he still has what it takes to be the best of the best? Or is it time he walks away from the sport for good? Aljamain Sterling drops big prediction for Sean O'Malley fight. After picking up a closely fought decision win over Henry Cejudo, bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling found himself face-to-face with the next man in line for a title shot, Sugar Sean O'Malley. After having an impromptu stare-down with O'Malley inside the octagon, Sterling gave a bold prediction for how he thinks the fight plays out at the post-fight press conference, calling the #1 contender frail.
"Don't keep sitting around here talking and barking and not saddling it up and taking the opportunities that are given. This is what the sport's all about. You take the opportunities that are given to you. I guarantee you, we step in there, I think I fold that man in half in 1 round. It's just gonna... Same thing I did to Sandhagen."
Leading up to his UFC 288 clash with Henry Cejudo, Sterling made it pretty clear that he intends to defend the belt against Sean O'Malley before then moving up to featherweight to challenge Alexander Volkanovski for the title. That would make room for the Funkmaster's teammate, Merab Dvalishvili, to fight for the belt. During O'Malley's post-fight stare-down with Sterling, he and Dvalishvili ended up getting into a bit of a heated exchange after Sugar Sean handed the machine his jacket and then struggled to get it back. During the ESPN post-fight show, he spoke about Dvalishvili, saying,
"Yeah, Merab, he took the jacket. He's doing, his little Russian things that they do. Rob's just a little goofball. I don't really take that dude too serious."
According to UFC President Dana White, ideally, the fight between Sterling and O'Malley takes place in Boston in August. When the fight happens, who do you have winning? Drop your predictions in the comment section down below. Belal Muhammad reflects on big UFC 288 win. In the co-main event of UFC 288, streaking contender Belal Muhammad competed with #1 contender Gilbert Burns in a highly anticipated matchup with welterweight title implications on the line. Heading into the fight, Burns had already secured himself a spot as the backup for the impending clash between Leon Edwards and Colby Covington thanks to his UFC 287 win over Jorge Masvidal. On the flip side, Muhammad was fresh off a big win over Sean Brady that saw him fall just shy of a crack at the belt. After 5 hard-fought rounds in New Jersey on Saturday night, however, his hand was raised as he was named the #1 contender. After the fight, Muhammad spoke to media members about the win and his looming title fight, saying,
"I told you guys, I'm the best welterweight in the world, and to go out there and beat a guy like Gilbert Burns, 3 weeks notice, coming off of Ramadan, you guys have no idea what we went through to get to here, but I love my team, love my crew, and I know with our faith in ourselves and our faith in God, we get through anything.
As Muhammad went on to point out, he and Leon Edwards have unfinished business after their 2021 clash ended with an eye poke. Should the welterweight champ manage to pick up a win over Colby Covington, the two will finally have the chance to settle things with the stakes at an all-time high. Next, we have Paddy Pimblett announcing his next UFC fight. Paddy Pimblett replied to a fan on Instagram saying he would fight Matt Frevola for his UFC return, stating, "It's probably the easiest route into the top 15. Are you ready to see Paddy Pimblett take on Matt Frevola for his UFC return?" Before we continue, make sure you give that like button some love and be sure to subscribe to the MMA Zone for all of the latest news. Tony Ferguson arrested for DUI after flipping truck. Former interim lightweight champion Tony Ferguson was arrested late Saturday evening after crashing and flipping his pickup truck into several parked cars outside of a nightclub. According to reports, Ferguson was released from jail early Sunday morning. Conflicting reports claim that the truck ran into 4 parked cars, while others claim 2. In addition, there have been conflicting reports as to whether or not Ferguson was the only occupant of the car. When police officers arrived, El Cucuy allegedly refused to take a field sobriety test and was quote-unquote very uncooperative at the time of his arrest. As of Sunday afternoon, MMA Junkie is reporting that Ferguson and his team have not commented on the matter. According to TMZ, one of the cars that was destroyed by Ferguson was a Mercedes belonging to rapper Cash Gotti, who wasn't too pleased with the situation. Ferguson, of course, is in the midst of a devastating 5-fight skid that most recently saw him submitted for the very first time in his UFC career. Following his recent loss, many have called for his retirement. However, it sounds as though he's keen to snap his losing streak. The latest reports had El Cucuy potentially facing Kevin Lee in a highly anticipated rematch. However, the fight was never finalized, and with his latest legal troubles, Ferguson could potentially be forced to the sidelines depending on how things play out. Dana White makes bold claims regarding Power Slap. Although Dana White's Power Slap League couldn't cut it on TBS, the UFC president is claiming that the controversial competition is actually a widespread success. During the UFC 288 post-fight press conference, White dropped a bombshell on media members, claiming that he has secured a TV deal for Power Slap that's bigger than the deal the UFC had with Spike TV. In addition, White is claiming that the finale of Power Slap Season 1 generated 3.2 million views on Rumble, despite MMA Mania's reporter pointing out that the number of live viewers he saw while covering the event don't match up to the numbers White was sharing.
Not only is it unbelievable money-wise, it's been unbelievable as far as social media goes. We're number 1 in all of sports. And when I say all of sports, if you take the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, F1, WWE, and who am I forgetting, and added them all together, their numbers don't compare to Slap's.
As many were quick to point out, Power Slap struggled to gain traction on TV, posting underwhelming ratings on Wednesday nights after AEW throughout the first season, while battling widespread criticism from sports fans to politicians. In addition, the Power Slap finale also featured several tweets on the broadcast that allegedly belonged to viewers. However, upon further inspection, it appeared as though the accounts who were supposedly tweeting about Power Slap had not been active in years. From the sounds of things, White is all in on Power Slap, regardless of what fans may think. With a bold strategy to take the competition to Fight Island in Season 2, only time will tell what the future holds. And now for our breaking news story of the day. We have Hasbulla getting arrested in Dagestan. It's reported that earlier this morning, Hasbulla and his friends were driving around when he was taken into custody and charged with a traffic violation. We have seen in the past that Hasbulla drives his cars recklessly, and this video that came out before his arrest shows exactly why he was arrested.
Давай за второе место, Хали. Я тебе сейчас на руку точку дам, перевернем ее.
За что вас доставили в полк ДПС?
Поехали на свадьбу другу. И на трассе, была трасса пустая, и начали крутить машину.
Свадебные эмоции,
Да.
What do you think will happen to Hasbulla over this situation? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay up to date with MMA news every day. Here are the top comments from yesterday's video. I remember when we would talk about Conor because of his fights. Darren Till broke Khamzat's heart. But if he would have done it this way, Conor seems to always make me die laughing no matter how crazy he seems. Amazing how every other champ fights once a year. And those were the top comments from yesterday's video. If you want to be featured on our next video, make sure to leave a comment and don't forget to check out yesterday's video in case you missed it.